Hi there, I'm here with Leonard Marquez. He is the new attorney for the statewide chamber. So how did this happen? How did you become, was it an election, or how do they get the new attorney to come on board?
Well, I've been involved with my local chamber for many, many years, and several years ago got involved at the state level, serving with the northern region of California, helping to plan events and those sorts of things. I knew the current former general counsel of the state chamber, Richard McBride, going back many years. Richard and I are friends, and we've worked together, including at the Contra Costa County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And so Richard was looking to sort of transition the role and have somebody sort of pick up the baton, and so I was happy to do that.
Oh, great! So you can then appoint your next. Whoever's going to be the next attorney, is that how that works?
Well, Richard, as the outgoing general counsel, would work with the board of directors at large and the current chairman to sort of make a recommendation, and ultimately it's up to the board to appoint a new general counsel, and so that's how I was appointed.
Great. And why did you decide to sort of take that on? What are you looking forward to most?
Well, I served for many years, as I mentioned, with the local chamber. In fact, termed out after I think it was 8 or 9 years of service. So I started doing more with the regional northern region group of the statewide chamber, and was sort of looking to expand my role and see how I could sort of help out. In my ordinary day job life, I'm a civil litigator with a law firm in Oakland. And so this was kind of a natural fit for me to a way in which I could sort of lend my skills to the state chamber.
I see your last name is Marquez. Are you Hispanic? What's your background?
Yes, so I'm third generation. My grandparents, one was from Texas, the other from Mexico.
There's like a little accent. Is that from Texas?
Well, interestingly, sort of one half of my family is Latino, the other half from Oklahoma. So it may be a more Oklahoma accent than anything else. But yeah, so third generation, and so my parents were born and raised in California. I grew up in Northern California.
Great. And how did you start getting into law? Is that kind of what your family's been doing, or where did that come from?
No, neither of my parents went to college. And
congratulations on being the first.
But they certainly, education was big in my family. It's something my parents sort of pushed, not having gone to college themselves. They wanted to see, their kids obviously strive towards that. So that was something, encouraged growing up. I sort of come from kind of a blue collar town. I'd say my high school was known more for football than academics. But we had that push. I was lucky to have some good mentors in my life during high school that kind of pushed us, and so was able to go to Princeton University out of high school, and that opened a lot of doors for me. Went to UCLA Law School and eventually became an attorney.
Wonderful. That's a great story. Because it's a California Hispanic Chamber event, what do you think? Why do you think it's so important for California to have Hispanic-owned businesses?
Right. Well, the reality is that as a demographic, the Latino community in this state is a sizable portion of the population, and obviously of business owners and entrepreneurs as well. So as I think our chairman mentioned in talking to you earlier, those folks, they need a voice at the table. And so they need an organization to advocate for them. We're sort of all very familiar with the ordinary sort of city civic chambers of commerce, and those organizations are great. They certainly, they do a whole lot of great things for the business community at large. But our community, I think, has certain issues specific to that community, and certainly there's a challenge in giving voice to that community. So a group that really focuses on that segment and tries to serve that segment is very important, and really the reason why our Hispanic chambers of commerce exist.
You seem to be very appreciative, and you want to stay connected with your roots, right? Even though you're third generation, which a lot of people don't do. They become successful and they just kind of go on and forget to give back or to service their community. Why did you decide to do that, to kind of help the Hispanic community and advocate for them?
Well, I sort of mentioned, I had folks in my life early on to serve as mentors, people to advise and sort of help pull you up by your bootstraps. And so, I think that, once you get to that place, you have an obligation to do the same thing. Turn around and sort of see who's coming behind you, sort of help those folks come up as well, and hopefully lift sort of, the whole community up.